So why are people in rural America oftentimes called racist? Why do they always get that stereotype? Well, I don't know about any of you, but I live in rural America, and, well, I'm not racist. However, because I live in rural America, I am very well aware of the people that live around me. And many of them really are quite racist. And I'm not just saying that like, oh, he disagrees with me, he doesn't like Barack Obama, therefore he's racist. No. If you don't like Obama for, his policies, maybe you don't like Affordable Care Act. I don't care. Fine, that's a political issue. But the experience I've had with the people in this rural area is that of a lot of racism. And this is not a southern state. This is a northern state. I live in Michigan, okay? I live in mid-Michigan, rural mid-Michigan. And actually, the area that I live in, the sort of east coast of Michigan, if you will call it that, is notorious for having the most amount of hate groups. They're pretty much all across the east coast of this state, along Lake Huron. And all the way down pretty much to just north of Detroit. It stretches all the way from there all the way up through the thumb. And so that's hate groups that are on the books. So I'm not just bullshitting here. There really are a lot of racists here. And from my personal experience, it doesn't surprise me. When I was in high school, I experienced quite a lot of people being racist. I mean, they weren't racist to me because obviously I'm white, but just hearing it in the background, yeah, it's like, holy shit. When I was in history class, I remember my teacher bringing in one of those Hollywood movies about the Civil War and slavery and etc. And then during lunchtime, one of the people that attended the same class that I did was sitting there laughing that the black people in the movie were getting tortured. And then he said, yeah, I hate those damn N-words. And then he proudly told the story, proudly bragging, about black people moving in next to him burning a cross on their lawn and making them move out the next day. Now, whether or not he was bullshitting, I think is a bit irrelevant because it seems like it would be something that he would do if he didn't already. Right? He seemed proud of doing that, even if he didn't actually do it, which that explains exactly where his mind is. And one of the, not just stupid people, but the geeky people were like this as well. One of the geekiest, sort of nerdiest, high-grade people in school, when I told him I kind of like Obama, his response wasn't even a political one. It was just, why are you voting for a black gentleman? Or why are you supporting a black gentleman? We were too young to vote. Why do you want a black gentleman to win? I mean, he wasn't completely rude about it. He was a bit more polite with his language, but it's still quite obvious that he was a racist fuck. So smart people can be stupid too. And then, at this little community center in this small town that I live in, it's just a parking lot that kids would put their fiberboard and plywood ramps on for skateboarding and biking. There, people were, I used to hang out there because that's where a lot of the teenagers would go in town to just, hang out and chill. And for a while that was fine, but after a conversation about, who we all attracted to or whatever, at that time I said I was attracted to black women. And yeah, I make no apologies for it. I'm still attracted to some black women. Some of them are pretty hot. And their response was exactly what you would expect it to be in a rural area. They were calling me an N-word lover. They were threatening me. They basically ran me out of there. And years after that, when I was sort of trying to form a band, we all sucked. Looking back at it now, we all sucked bad. But hanging out with, one of those people I still hang out with, but the other one was very much a racist. Just the things that he would say was very much racist. And the other people that I met through these people, they would come out right and say, yeah, we're racist. Just no, not apologetic about it. Just, yeah, we're racist. That's rural America in general, man. So, if these Trump voters sit there proclaiming from the top of their lungs that they're not racist, half the time they're lying. If they're from a rural area, chances are they're racist as fuck. Don't trust them. And people wonder why they're called Nazis. I mean, frankly, I don't think the word Nazi quite applies. I mean, let's take a look what the Nazis actually did. They were racist, so right there they share something in common. And rednecks tend to be for big military, which the Nazis also were. And they're anti-intellectual / pseudo-intellectual. That's also something they share in common with the Nazis. But the Nazis wanted to control business. They didn't nationalize them. They weren't socialist. Regardless of their name, in action, they were not socialist. They did not nationalize industry, but they regulated them to the point of production quotas and price controls, which is something rednecks are against. So regarding the economy, rednecks are not Nazis. But regarding social policy and military policy and nationalism, rednecks are very much like Nazis. That is why they're called Nazis. Right? Now, maybe the term Nazi doesn't necessarily apply to them because, again, controlling the economy is a pretty big part of policy and so forth, but I don't know. Just calling them a racist doesn't seem to do it anymore. Nazi is an N-word that actually offends them. So keep calling them that. Peace.